the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now that word Egypt means bunny, okay? But we was in the Hebrew Israelites. The Hebrew Israelites was in Egypt, right? You know about that? You know about the Hebrew Israelites being in Egypt in slavery under Pharaoh? You ever heard that story? Okay, so the Hebrew Israelites was in slavery under Pharaoh in Egypt. Go ahead, read that again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
It said Egypt again, right? We was in Egypt. When we came out with Moses, you know about Moses? Okay, the Hebrew Israelites came out of Egypt with Moses, right? Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
He said you shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, right? Go ahead.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall redeem you. So we over here in slavery. North America is the land of our slavery because we broke the laws of the Lord. We broke his covenant. So he's punishing us. So we're out here, and answer your question, we out here to wake up 1/3 of these people. It's billions of us over here in North America. Billions. But the Lord is going to come back for a small number because they don't want to stop doing this. Drugs, committing adultery, right? Stealing, killing. So only 1/3 of these people are going to get salvation. They don't want to come out of the church. The Lord called the churches in the Bible harlot houses. Christianity, the Lord didn't give us religion. He made us spiritual. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to follow. So we're not supposed to be going to church tomorrow. That's wicked. That's of the so-called white man. So we're only out here for a remnant of these people to let them know, you know North America is going to be destroyed, right? Did you know that? By who? Russia, Iran, China, North Korea. You see those missiles they got, they tested? What are they going to do with them? What are they going to shoot them at? Well, the Bible, according to the Bible, they're going to shoot them over here in North America and other places of the world. Because who's destroying the earth? Who controls the earth? What race of people control the entire planet? No. It's only one race of people that controls the entire planet. What race are they? White. Right?
So-called.
They own the bank, so-called white. Because they are not white, they're red. But we say so-called white. They control the banks, right? The Rothschild. The Lord say, them that control the earth, he will destroy them. What are they doing to the earth? Got chemtrails, GMO food, contaminated water, right? They giving kids vaccines, giving them autism. Who is controlling the earth? The so-called white man. And they are doing what? Hey, somebody give me Revelation 11:18 real quick. Because they are the wicked. According to the Bible, the so-called white race is the wicked.
It's Revelations 11:18.
And this is the words of the Lord. Go ahead.
And the nations were angry.
Oh, he said the nations were angry. Every nation around the earth, what does the so-called white man do with their military? They go into every other country and do what? Take over the resources, right? Read that.
And the nations were angry.
And the nations were angry. Go ahead.
And thy wrath is come.
The Lord's wrath is coming. Go ahead.
And the time of the dead, that they should be judged.
Right.
And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets.
That's us out here doing this work, and we all over the world. We in every other state in North America. You see brothers like this with signs, 12 tribes chart, all around the world. Go ahead.
And to the saints.
And the saints, according to the Bible, in Psalm 15:5 and Psalm 148 and 14, the saints are Israelites. Go ahead.
And to the saints and them that fear thy name.
And we fear the Lord's name. That's why we out here doing this work. The Lord say, fear is the beginning of the Lord's wisdom. The beginning of wisdom is fear. We fear the Lord because we know what He's about to come back and do. Go ahead.
Small and great. And shouldest destroy them that destroy the earth.
Who's destroying the earth? The so-called white man.
Yeah.
Bring it out, huh?
It's in Job chapter 9, verse 24.
Right.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth was given to the hand of the wicked. So the Lord gave them rulership over the earth. Because this is our captivity. We wasn't made to come over here and be LeBrons and be Jordans. This is our captivity. We're supposed to be mourning. Because the Lord brought us over here in slavery because we broke His law. But you got people running around enjoying life like the Lord ain't coming back. Go ahead,
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Who created that image? Did you hear that? It said, earth will give it to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. Who will be the judge of the earth? The Lord and Savior, right? Go ahead.
I'll read over Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
If he did, if the so-called white man didn't do this, who did it? Where was we at when they did that? This Renaissance art. You know about Renaissance? Okay, during the 1400s, I'm gonna say during the mid 1300s to the 1400s, they created that image so they can deceive people that they are God, right? Then they use a verse like Ephesians 6:5 to say, servant, be submissive to your master on the plantation. So they took one of the verses out of our book. A lot of people say the so-called white man wrote the book. But it tell you in the book that he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. If that was their book, would they leave that in their book? If they got to go into slavery, put us in slavery, would you leave that in your book? No, that's not his book.
Right.
So he used Ephesians 6:5 to say, servant, be submissive to your master. Obey them that are over you. That wasn't talking about the Edomites. That was talking about us being obedient to our Heavenly Father and His Son. So it say they covered the faces of the judges. They set this image up to be them. But guess what? The Lord looks like this. They tell you he's a so-called black man in Revelation. But they don't read that verse in the church house. They don't read that because our people got Stockholm syndrome. Hey, somebody get the Isaiah 30:12 real quick. Our people, they trust in oppression. They love it here, man. They enjoy, they comfort. They making 4-5 figures. They good. They got the houses, picket fence. We supposed to be in mourning because we in slavery. Though we ain't got the yoke of iron on our neck, we still in slavery. We just gotta pay taxes, right? The elite, you think they pay taxes? The ones who own the earth, they pay taxes? They don't pay no taxes, man.
Yeah. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Yasharallah, Israel, because ye despise this word.
Hey, our people don't want to hear the truth. They want to keep walking around and putting out the day of the Lord like he ain't coming back.
And trust in oppression.
They trust in oppression, man. Go ahead.
And perverseness, and stay thereon.
This is our people, man. They trust in oppression, man. They love their slave master. You ever heard of Stockholm syndrome? That's when you love the one that held you hostage. After a while, when he start to feed you, he give you clothes, you're like, oh, this is a good master, right? No, the Lord said he had a damn devil. The Lord called the so-called white man the devil. Hey, man, get Malachi 1:3. That proves all things, man.
Malachi 1:3.
Now he said, he read to you, Job 9:24 said the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, right? Remember that. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Read that.
Malachi 1:3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains in his heritage waste.
Right, he said he hated Esau, so-called white man, and laid his mountain and his heritage waste. Go ahead.
For the dragons of the wilderness.
Right.
Whereas Edom saith,
go ahead.
we are impoverished,
Right. This when they was in the, this when we ran them to Caucasus Mountain. So the name Caucasian comes from Caucasus Mountain, where they was at, right? Pumped over like cave beasts. They would sound like horses. They couldn't even talk. Go ahead.
we are impoverished,
Right.
but we will return and build the desolate place.
They said we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. That's when they came over here and took over the North American Indians and slaughtered them, right? Slaved them. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Right.
They shall call them the border of wickedness.
They shall call them the border of wickedness. The so-called white man is the wicked. You see? They shall call them the border of wickedness. And that's what we call them today. The wicked. Go ahead.
And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So the Lord hates the Edomites. He hates them, man. You want to say anything, bro?
No, you good. You good. You have any questions? What do you think about that? Let's start there. What do you think about that? You know what I mean? So even Esau's the wicked, but you are a son of God. Now in the Bible, you were always taught that the sons of God was anybody that believes in the Lord could be a child of God. The Lord chasteneth the ones he loves. Our people are going through what we're going through as a nation of people Because we're being disobedient sons and daughters of God. How do you feel about that, brother?
That's why we on the bottom, brother. That's why we on the bottom. When you look at these people, we on the bottom on everything, man. We in the ghettos. If we in the corners of every city, of every state, we on the bottom. It ain't because we are the lowest people. It's because we broke the covenants of the Lord and he cursed us, man. And he put us on the bottom. He said he raised up the bases of men. He called the so-called white man, they was the lowest of the earth. He raised them up over us and he put us on the bottom now.
This is Romans chapter 9. I'll start at verse 13. As it is written
in the Old Testament,
brother just brought it out. Brother just brought it out. Esau have I loved, Jacob have I hated. Right? This is Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
So the Lord loves the nation of Israel. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. West Indians and Haitians. And he hates Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That's why they don't believe in the Lord. Because that's completely adverse to their spirit. There's the wicked and then you have the righteous.
Right.
Vessels of wrath.
And like the brother just said, they don't believe in the Lord. That's why they created their own God. You understand? That's why they created this man, because they don't believe in the true God of the Bible.
As it is written, this is the New Testament also, Romans. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then?
So what are you going to say about that?
Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid.
So if the Lord loves Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and he hates the so-called white man, what can you say about it? You can't do nothing.
For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
Right.
And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then, it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
Right.
So the Lord picked a favorite people. Just like you got a favorite shirt, or you might have a favorite food you like to eat, the Lord has a favorite nation of people. Our people is the Lord's favorite people. We are sons and we are kings and priests. That's what the Lord said. He said we're his portion. We're his firstborn son. That's a nation of people.
Verse 17, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee.
So the Lord raised up the so-called white man to destroy his kingdom. He allowed him to do all of this wickedness so he'd be justified and destroyed.
Right.
And that's why he said he raised up Pharaoh. Because during the time of Moses, the Lord made Pharaoh rebellious against what Moses had to say. When Moses said, let the Lord's people go, he said, who is your God? The Lord did that to show his power. That's why the Lord allowed the so-called white man to have the #1 military on the planet. Because he's about to show the world that their #1 military don't mean anything compared to the Lord.
And if I can say this, he told Moses he was going to harden Pharaoh's heart. Okay? Anyway, back in 17. And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. And that's what we wrote in Job 9 and 24. The Lord is mad because the wicked Esau Edom covered his face, covered his laws, being a homosexual. All the things that the Lord stands for, the so-called white man covers it up and changes it so you can do it.
Right.
Okay. Verse 18. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will harden him. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? Or for who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God?
Because the Lord does what he wants to. All of this is the Lord's creation. So if the Lord wants to make a hero and a villain, you can't be mad because it's not your movie. The Lord decided that our nation, we're set as a nation of heroes. But because of our disobedience, we had to lay down for a time. But the villain has always been the villain. Esau has always been the villain, and the so-called white man's reign and his rulership of blood is almost over.
Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay, or the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
And our vessels, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that vessel is unto honor. Esau, Edom, these weak, red Hebrew Edomites are vessels fitted for destruction. They're a vessel of dishonor. And that's why they do everything completely adverse to the spirit and to the earth. They don't even, they poison the air they gotta breathe. They contaminate the water they gotta drink. They do everything in their power to destroy the earth, and we're supposed to be living with it.
Verse 22, what if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
And that's what the Lord did. He endured this, he endured and long suffered the wickedness of Cain so that he be justified in showing pure wrath. That's why I said the day of the Lord is going to be like no day before. Because these people are going to go through martial law, they're going to die in famine, they're going to die in pestilence, and then the Lord going to come back on top of that.
Right.
The Lord going to hit them with trifectas before he even hit them with the knockout punch. But that's because they are ordained vessels of dishonor. They are ordained to receive the wrath of YAHAWASHI. Just like the nation of Israel is ordained to receive that ultimate mercy of YAHAWASHI. It's valid. You want to add to that, brother?
Yeah.
How you feeling, brother? How you feel about that? You good?
Should be good news, man. Good news, man.
It's a lot of information.
Hey, what is it called? What do you number for?
I'm sorry, what was that?
That red book.
This is the Apocrypha. It's originally in the Bible in the 1611, but you can buy it separate. See?
He got it right there. He got it right there.
That red book is inside of the original. This is an original King James.
Yeah, that's an original.
They
This
took
is
it
the-
out
the Catholic
because it's
Church
too much
took it out.
information in here that tells you who the so-called white man is.
How much is it?
Now you got it in the Old Testament. It tell you that they came out red,
probably
like $10 at the most on Amazon. So when you read Genesis 25 tell you that they came out red. When you look at them, are they white or are they red? Because their blood show forth through their skin. They have no pigment, or they really lack the pigment. So they have no pigment, so their blood show forth through their skin. So they ain't white, they're red. So they took the Apocrypha out because when you get to the New Testament, all the churches push that the New Testament, everybody can be saved. But in the Apocrypha, it tell you that we became Gentiles, or Israelite foreigners, because they made us fall away from the truth. They had us eating pork. That's where you start eating pork at. It come from here. Antiochus Epiphanes, or Alexander the Greek. Those Greeks made us eat pork. That's where we start eating that at. So they had to take this out because without this, everybody think the New Testament is for everybody. All the Gentiles in the New Testament is everybody. But them Gentiles in the New Testament that Paul went to was Israelites who was living in those lands, or the heathen nation, or the Gentiles.
I got this is one of the reasons why they took it out. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 8.
Right.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau, the so-called white man,
Right.
is the end of the world.
Right.
And Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, is the beginning of it that followeth.
That's why the so-called white man always do apocalyptic movies, always talking about the end of the world, because he believes it's the end of the entire world. But really, it's the end of his reign of blood.
Right.
His rulership.
His kingdom of bloodshed is almost coming to an end. And that's why the Lord said Esau's the end of the world. He's the end of this age.
Right.
And our people are the beginning of it that follows.
Right. If you listen to it said Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. What is coming? The kingdom of heaven, which is going to be here on earth.
Right.
That's for us. and they're gonna be our slaves in the kingdom of heaven. See, we had to build up their kingdom. Everything that was built on North America and around the world, who built it? These people on this side, right? By their blood, sweat, and tears, was this land established in corruption. So now in our kingdom, they got to rebuild our kingdom. They tell you that in the scripture. They tell you that Isaiah chapter 60 and 61 that they got to rebuild our kingdom the same way we had to build theirs. So they took that Apocrypha out because they don't want people knowing that that's why in Isaiah 14 and 12, he said, how have thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Lucifer is light bearer, meaning the illuminated one, the illuminati of this world. Luke 10:18 say, the Lord say he saw Satan fall as lightning, meaning out of his rulership. That kingdom, you don't watch the news, that kingdom falling. The economy is collapsing, it's crashing. The dollar is only worth what, 20 cents? The economy is collapsing. And what they do, they go in every country and set sanctions, right? And take stuff, so these other countries can shoot missiles over here. That's why this is called Babylon the Great. And the Lord said he would destroy this place in 1 hour with the missiles. 1 hour. And it took them centuries to build this.
You were asking about this book. I'm going to give you another example of why they removed this book. This book, the Bible is a history book. People like to say it's a fairy, no, it's a history book.
Right.
It names names. This is out of the Apocrypha. The first book of the Maccabees, chapter 1. Are you familiar with Alexander the Great? You ever heard of that name, Alexander the Great? You know, he ruled in Greece.
They pushed him heavy in the social study books in school.
Exactly.
The one that ruled all the land, all the known world. He conquered all the known world, Alexander the Great.
Also known as Alexander the Conqueror.
Right.
But anyway, the scriptures actually names him. This is chapter 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian. And you could look this man up. It's history.
Right.
That's Alexander the Great. A statue of him. You know, back then they only had like paintings.
So this is an actual person that's in the scriptures that the Lord wrote about.
Right.
And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians.
Right.
Darius is another king you can look up. So all these people are actual people, right?
Right.
That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Who ruled Greece? Who was in Greece? The so-called white man ruled Greece, right? Just like he ruled Rome, right? He ruled the Roman Empire. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. I'm going to skip down to the main point. This is verse 9, verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. Right. And his servants there ruled everyone in his place.
Right.
The main point here. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. Right. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Now, the brother read to you Job 9:24. He said the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. Now, I tell you, when these four generals took over, when Alexander died, he said evils were multiplied in the earth. That's why they had to take this out, man. Because it names names. And they are all Edomites, so-called white people. They don't want their history being known. But guess what? Now the Lord say in Matthew 10:28, the thing that was hid, he have made revealed and manifested. Because he tell you in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, let no man deceive you, for that day shall not come, except there come a fall away first, and that the man of sin be revealed.
I got it.
So now we know who the Edomites is. The so-called white people are the wicked of the Bible, who the Lord calls the wicked. Read that.
I got it. Come. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
And that's talking about all this philosophy with all this Roman Catholicism and Christianity. Because all that teaches love. Love, 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 love. If the Lord was all love, why would he say he come out to kill 2/3 of his own people?
Oh yeah. And it said, let no man. He said, let no man deceive you by any means.
By any means.
That means it could be a doctrine, it could be a gift.
Right.
Let no man deceive you by any means. Because what did what did Malcolm X say? He said, hey, that's the spirit. Hey, what did Malcolm X say? He said, by any means necessary, right? On the left-hand side, Esau's trying to get the elect in the nation of Israel by any means necessary. So it said, let no man deceive you by any means. Continuing, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Right.
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
The son of perdition, the son of destruction. Now he read to you in Revelation 11:18, the Lord said he come back to destroy them who destroying the earth. Destroying the earth, go back to what? Destruction. Yeah, you had a question?
Hey, you guys, y'all told me how to build this story in their
Nah, that wasn't us, bro.
That wasn't us. But that was some brothers that are Israelites. That just wasn't us in particular.
There's different camps.
Different camp.
There's a bunch of young locations.
Right here.
Right here.
Right here, every Saturday.
Y'all don't have a building?
No, we're supposed to have a building. Hey, get Acts 7:48 real quick. Prove all things, thus saith the Lord.
When you think about, are you familiar with Christ, the story of Christ?
That's where everybody was prophecy at.
No, not everybody.
That's why I was just telling you, he died for these people only.
But Christ, he was in the synagogues, yeah, but most of the time he was out amongst the people.
Right. Go ahead,
Acts 7:48.
Yes, it is, brother.
Howbeit, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
The Most High, read it again.
Howbeit, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
So is the Lord of those churches? He's not in them.
Yeah, fine.
Now, when you read 1 Corinthians 3 and 6 and 1 Peter 2 and 5, they tell you that the Lord, our body is the Lord's temple. Each one of his men makes up brick with mortar, right? That becomes the spiritual temple. And the Lord tell you that the Lord in Ephesians, that the Lord is the chief cornerstone.
Right.
So we are a spiritual temple being built. This is not about a physical temple that the pastor teach in church. That ain't in the Bible, man. The Lord just told you he dwells not in temple made with hands. Who built those churches? All these churches around the world, who built them? Men hands, right? The Lord ain't in them.
I got a quick precept, because you said Jesus came for everybody, right?
Right.
So this is in Matthew, straight out of Jesus' mouth. You had the Bible. I don't have a red letter, but it would be in red.
I got a red letter.
Straight out of Christ's mouth, right? It says Matthew 15, and I'll start at 21. I'll read it verbatim. Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon.
Where you at?
Matthew 15 and 21.
Oh, he's at 15 and 21.
Take you to the point.
And you know, anytime it's in red, Christ is talking, right? So he's at 15 and 21.
Okay.
Read 21 down to 3. They're going to the Syrophoenician one.
So this is where he's
and
starting
Mark, she was a Canaanite.
So anything in red is Christ.
The Lord had to do with the people, but she was the same Israelite woman, though. Yeah, that's why I
wanted him to hear
said.
that.
That's why I said go to.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip that one.
Right.
I'm gonna start in 21. It says, then Jesus, so you know Jesus speaking. Then Jesus said, then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. I'm gonna jump down to the main point. Verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So he's not for everybody. He's only sent to Israel.
So he just told you who he was
Read
sent
10 and
for.
5. Read 10 and 5 and 6. Matthew 10, 5 and 6.
Matthew 10, 5 and 6.
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 5.
11:05.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into the city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and say as ye go preaching, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
This is only for the Israelite, brother. Or we just want to hit you with a little knowledge before you be on the move. This is only for Israel, man.
Facts.
If I can, let's get Deuteronomy 20 and 8.
Hey guys, I gotta go, okay?
All right, bro.
What time y'all be here next week?
7:30.
7:30?
Yep.
So what?
7:30 until the spirit take us out.
All right, brother.
All right, brother.
Have a good night, brother.
You are a Hebrew Israelite, one of the Lord's chosen sons. Remember that.
Blessings, brother.
You
Blessings.
are a chosen son of the Lord.
Take care, brother. Be safe.
You too. All you guys.
All right, brother.
Hey.
Oh yeah,
Shalom.
if you got YouTube, be under GMSORLANDO.
28.
You don't got a card, but our YouTube page is GMS. It's made Orlando. It's GMS Orlando.
Yeah.
Just if you want to pull us up.
That's why you
But it's like, damn.
That's through the spirit, we rep
GM or GM?
GM.
GMS. Yep.
The spirit, we ran into that brother when we was at Walgreens. On the corner of Walgreens, we ran into him. Yeah, same dude. We ran into him at Walgreens and he was bucking up with us. That's why I kind of chilled and just keep out. That's why spirit had you go ahead and push it, and I was just right here like watching. Because I remember seeing him before, and he resisted.
He received it too. This time, did you see? He was like, GMS? We're going to look it up.
A couple times he took his hat off.
Yeah, no, his head. I told you. His head
He had to rub his head. Hey, Con, let's get Deuteronomy 20 and 8, because brothers had touched on that that spirit of non-Israelite camps, that non-camp Israelite spirit. Let's get Deuteronomy 20 and 8, because this is what it really boils down to.
Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 8. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house. Let his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
It said, lest his brother's heart faint like his heart. So in Apocalypto, when you go into that movie, the dad was telling the son, he said, fear is contagious.
Right.
He said, fear is contagious, and that's the spirit of these non-camp Israelites. And all of these Israelites who said we shouldn't go so hard on the Edomites, the Israelite board, wherever they come from, out of the woodwork, because really they're fearful. But they can't admit that they're fearful, so they have to justify by saying, look, we gotta do it a different way.
It's 2 Timothy 1:7.
And I'm going to say this, huh?
No, you good,
I was going to say this. That's not even scriptural, man. Paul said he has not shunned to declare the whole gospel, man. He didn't hide nothing. Like, where is that in the scripture?
Right.
But that's why the Lord put it. That's in the law. That's in the law. If you have a fearful man among you, send that man home.
Right.
Because that's gonna contaminate the rest of the truth.
It said whether they hear or forbear.
Right.
Not just telling smooth things. That's what they want to hear, smooth things.
Right. Isaiah 30 and 9.
And it really boils down to being fearful, man. It boils down to that fear of the Lord not actually making good on his promise, which is what? That's a lack of faith. Faithless generation. Because now we're in a time of Esau losing, and the devil about to come down with great wrath, and they're afraid of that. Because they don't believe they're going to be defended. Thus shall they not be defended. Woe to the faint heart, faint of hands, fearful hearts, faint hands, because they believe not.
Right.
So that shows you that fear is equivalent to a lack of faith. It shows you that they're hand in hand. Faith and confidence is on one side, and fear and doubt is on the other side. And that's the and that's why the spirit of YAHAWASHI is exposing them. Because that's what they're doing happily. You know, when it goes into unless you happily be bound to fight against YAHAWASHI, when you go into that word happily, it means ignorantly, without even knowing. Without even knowing, they're exposing themselves to be fearful. Because the Lord said everything that he was going to set up a standard. He said that we were going to be delivered out of Jacob's trouble. If you believe that, then you're supposed to go 100%. And they're in the spirit of dialing back. Here it is, the spirit got the foot on the gas, no brakes. And you got Jake in the back seat trying to pull an emergency brake.
And also, if I can say this, it's a trick bag because we always bring it out. when Esau come down on us, it don't matter if you've been out here on the highways and byways every Saturday, or if you just looking it up on your computer every Saturday. We all gonna get the same wrath of Esau.
And you know what? Well,
You're all gonna get thrown in the damn human camp.
Exactly.
All of us, the elect, most of them gonna get delivered.
Right.
But you know, 2/3, you go. If you was looking on the video, even if you ain't like the video, if you watched it, you best believe they got algorithms tracking you. As soon as you click on a video, they're watching you.
That
And you
Project
go in a little
Megiddo.
folder, man.
on that Project Megiddo. So and through the spirit, because
You ain't even gotta sign into your damn YouTube. You cannot sign in and watch. They still watch you.
but through the spirit, the Lord is going to use that wrath to get rid of scoffers, because He's going to start at his house first. So He's going to use the wrath of Esau to come against all the scoffers that were scoffing against the word and that were trying to establish their own righteousness. He's going to use them. He's going to use Esau to get them. And then once they start digging deeper to get to the elect, that's when the standard happens. That's when the whole switch, and that's the spirit of YAHAWASHI, because you got these Edomites that's been training 13, 14 years to be elite fighters in the military, and the Lord is going to break them in pieces like that. Before you know it, it's over with. And they done trained 13, 14, 20 years to be a SEAL, to learn all of modern warfare, and the Lord is going to destroy them overnight. Once a brother get that spiritual power, without having any kind of training, he's going to fold these people. They're going to be sheep amongst that lion.
Nigga like a press.
Right. YAHAWASHI.
Sound right. Chapter 2, we started at verse.
Hold on, read that 2 Timothy first.
2 Timothy 1 and 7. This is 2 Timothy 1 and 7. For Yahawah have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind.
Hey, that's Cain running from his judgment.
Hey, that's all they needed to see.
Hey, that's Cain running from his judgment, as usual. That's why we don't bug out, man. We ain't in the spirit of bugging out. Man, who cares what Esau thinks at this point?
Hey, Esau saw the slave sign and got up the street.
Yeah, for you
Wasn't
brothers
no part.
that's in YouTube world, we had an Edomite come up, and that's why through the spirit I put that sign right there, because they love seeing.
Good thing you moved it up there.
And that was the spirit, because I saw the signs while that brother was reading, and I was like, you know what? Let me put this there, since they always come from this side, and it's that open area, so they can see their own judgment. What they've done, they can see the charges that's going to be brought up against them, man. Call her lawyer, how about she now shot? Hey, you know what? Let's get Michael 5 and 8. Let's get Michael 5 and 8. There's going to come a time where the Lord's going to get the spirit to his men, and it's going to be over with, man. Like a thief in the night, it's going to be over with. And it's already happened.
It's Isaiah chapter 35, verse 3. Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees.
Fine.
Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense, and He will come and save you.
And that's the spirit, because that's the spirit, because we're out here telling Israel to fear not, that the Lord is going to set up that standard. But those men that still have that fear in their heart, they're trying to tell the prophets to dial it back. Right. They're trying to tell the prophets, let's do smooth things. Prophesy to us smooth things. Let's tone down the spirit. Because
No, real quick. So you got it back. Didn't the Lord say not to add or take away from the word?
right.
So you trying to get to take away from the word. Right. Don't say that. Don't say this. That's wicked, man.
Oh, like the Edomite that was up there earlier.
Now you good, brother. But that's fear. That's that fear and doubt. Because ultimately they doubt that the Lord is going to defend them, man.
Right. So man, said this. You said that the fear was contagious. I don't know if you ever been on like a football, basketball team, but when somebody on your team sees the other team and they might be bigger or look better or have better jerseys, they get scared. I don't know. We can beat them. Might as well.
And you, through the spirit, that's the spirit you said that, because even when you did for example, basketball, when they first start the game off, the team over there warming up and the other team warming up, you can always tell a fearful guy, because he wasn't worried about warming up. He was always looking at the other team to see what they were doing.
He watching them coming out and dunking and shit.
Right.
Like, damn, they gonna put my ass.
And then his countenance falls.
I ain't gonna lie, that happened to me.
Hey, it happened to everybody that plays sport.
Oh, man.
But that's the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And now we about to do what? We about to run and gun. Now it's gonna be straight. Now it's straight run and gun. And that's through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. It's starting with the word. All we doing is preaching the word. And Yahweh Shemel Shai has it to where prophecy is just coming to pass. Every day we wake up, it's intensified. And there was a time where brothers was in that spirit of mourning, but now the Lord is putting that rejoicing spirit on brothers. Now brothers is, and it's spiritual because the judgment is increasing and brothers rejoicing is increasing. Man, that's called Allah Yahweh Shemel Shai.
Because out of all this, it's an expectation, right?
Right.
It's 2 Maccabees, chapter 15 and 8. Woo, wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help in former times which they have received from heaven.
That's why the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. Because we're supposed to look back and see the faith of our forefather Abraham. What he was willing to do for Yahweh Shemel Shai. Or the Maccabees themselves, when they were standing up for Yahweh Shemel Shai. Gideon, the 300 troops. The Lord sent Gideon's whole army away and then only kept 300 men and they got the victory. We're supposed to remember those stories, those men, and we're supposed to apply that to our situation now.
That's that 300 movement, man. It's 300, man. That's what you just mentioned. That was the Spartans, man.
Hey, and that's the spirit because in that final battle, even though those Greek dudes, they was with him the whole time, but when they saw that it was looking like no way out,
the Arcadians.
right? They got fearful and they did what? They went the fuck home. They went home. And the 300, they were looking forward to it.
Just like somebody we know left us on the battlefield.
Right. But you know what? Then when the story is told, the ones who turned many to righteousness and stood stiffly for Yahweh Shemel Shai are going to shine as the stars in heaven. And the ones who left brothers on the battlefield are going to have that, if they don't, come. That's why it's serious. That's why you can't play with the word. It's better that you're not even, because once you know this and you do your own thing, even worse, once you start doing the work and then you turn back, that's like mob. Now it goes to mob rules. Right. It's mob ties now. That means now the Lord put a special hit out on you because you came in and you left. You can't do that. You gotta.
And now to it.
My bad. I was just thinking the same thing. I'm looking at this Jake. This nigga girl don't got nothing on but a bra. I want to slap the shit out that nigga, bro.
Right.
One of them walked by, she ain't had nothing on, bro. I just see all her titties.
That's what I'm saying. That was a bra she got on.
So the one was see-through, she had on like the neck, bro. You see nipples and everything.
I want to stop these niggas for that, bro. These Jakes, bro. Go ahead, Dude.
But that goes in because 2/3 of our nation have rape youth, man.
Right.
They will not be they cannot be rehabilitated because they want to be niggas in America forever, man. They got straight nigga spirit on them, man, and they don't want to leave it alone, man.
Motherfucker, brother. Sweeter than the goddamn bananas, bro. After 3 days.
Hey, but that's because they left the fountain of living water.
Let a couple brown spots get on it.
Matter of fact, let's get Jeremiah 2:16.
Well, I got to put the on.
Come on.
I got to put that finish it? No, finish that.
Oh, yes, lock.
I'm gonna start back at the top. 2 Maccabees 15 and 8. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory.
Expect the victory.
Expect the victory.
Call Allah Yahweh Shemel Shai. Come on, man. This ain't that shows it ain't no second guessing. I mean, he say expect the victory.
And I say, oh, women on point. 2 months my ass.
Call Allah Yahweh Shemel Shai.
2 months my ass.
Expect the victory. Expect it. The hope of Yahweh Shemel Shai.
That's
You're supposed to expect that victory.
Perfect.
And we expect the double. If we're diligently seeking the Lord, we gotta look in our scriptures. Who has the Lord ever forsaken that called upon his name in truth and sincerity? None. I mean, you got 100% win. It's 100% chance, 144% chance you're gonna win if you seek the Lord diligently in is sincerity and truth. You can't lose. What did Peter say? By these things, none you shall not fail.
It's crazy, bro. It's like you going into a knife fight with a tank. Like, what you worried about?
Going into a knife fight.
What are you worried about?
Power, huh?
Exactly.
You going into with spiritual power.
Hey,
beat that.
That's why the brother that brought that out. He was like, fear not. It's the Lord that goes before you to fight. He already fear not. You good. You golden. But you have to embrace that spirit, that confidence. Because we always go into this. It's a harder, the hardest level of faith is believing that the Lord is dealing with you. That's the hardest level of faith.
Yeah, like you say, always say, we are our worst enemy, man. The
Right.
demons will fuck with you. Just like YAHAWASHI, the demons are trying to fuck with YAHAWASHI. Blow yourself off, man. Text you got it, you know?
And even YAHAWASHI said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Right.
Like the Lord, that's the hardest part of faith to master, is having confidence in the spirit that the Lord gave you, the measurement He gave you, and the role in the spirit. Because you'll see a lot of times that the spirit will tell you to do something, and you hesitate, and you see that you should have did it anyway. You shouldn't even thought twice about it.
Right.
And eventually, through those, you start getting better. Like, nah, I ain't gonna hesitate this time. I'm gonna just jump in, with the spirit jumping on me to do that. And before you know it, your spiritual muscle is worked, and you start moving in the spirit like it's like second nature.
Increasing in faith. Your faith has been increased.
Abounding. That's the spirit of YAHAWASHI. Call Allah YAHAWASHI. And that's why brothers are abounding now in that zeal and that confidence. Because like we said before, the hardest part is having that confidence that the Lord is dealing with your personal situation.
In something that you can't even see.
Fine. And that's why the Lord constantly said, fear not, be not dismayed. Fear not, little worm Jacob.
Constantly.
He had to remind us because we didn't have anything tangible to see. But the Lord always made it happen in our favor. It happened every time, man. 144% win rate. But if you don't turn back to your power, you worthless, man. Jake want to be niggas in America forever, man. And the Lord's going to get rid of them for that, man.
And now to expect victory and aid which shall come unto them.
Aid is help. And aid help. Now you're going to get the victory and you're going to get help. You shooting a shot. Like, what's that show, that movie with the fifth man, the sixth man?
Hey, and that's spiritual too, because the angels encamped around them that fear the Lord. But what happened at the end of the movie? He was straight. He didn't need the help no more. And that's what we're gonna. YAHAWASHI's gonna save us, and then He's gonna put us in. The Lord is gonna give us those bodies, and we're not gonna need that help no more like that. Call Allah YAHAWASHI. We got the victory already. That's why the Lord always saying, hey, and I used to never understand when I first came into the truth when it would say like, be of good cheer, because I was so afraid of YAHAWASHI. It was hard to look at what was coming and not be fearful. But then as you start growing in the spirit and the Lord starts building up your what? Your faith.
You realize He's a just God. He's not some wicked savage. He's not some wicked. He don't beat you because He want to beat you.
And
He
really,
beat you because He loves you.
And really it's because you first come into the truth, but your sins weighing you down. You come into the truth remembering who you were and not realizing that the Lord washed you.
You realize you ain't worthy.
Right.
You shouldn't have put fuck him out of here. I'm a piece of shit. So you're worthy. Who am I?
And you fighting, and you fear YAHAWASHI. But then as you grow in that faith and you start diligently seeking and He starts supping with you, that rejoicing starts to come. That being of good cheer starts to come. Because you're looking with expectation for your deliverance. That's a beautiful precept.
Isaiah 44 verse 2 say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee.
Hey, and that's not an if. That's not a plan B. You gotta believe in plan A. Jake, 2/3 of our people took the plan B and C. That's why it's a consolation. That's why it's tainted. Because even you wouldn't want to be. There's no price you can pay for the feeling that brothers have, and we don't have shit compared to these guys. But these guys behind closed doors are miserable.
I brought it up. Rich, miserable,
poor, naked.
I had Well, I had a good friend tell me straight up, bro, living from you on the outside of your car, you like your world is all messed up. But from the inside, you like your shit together. Straight up, bro.
Hey, but that's the spirit. That's the spirit. Because it's like
That's beautiful.
the Lord used the foolishness of preaching, and then He used brothers' situations so that if you're not spiritually discerned, you can't see the blessing. Because if the Lord actually gave us the chains and all of that, people would come in overnight, but it wouldn't be for what's inside.
Right, stumbling block. Right. We are lively stumbling blocks. We all each of us are stumbling blocks.
So if you carnal, we're gonna look like lower than the average Negro. But if you spiritual, you're gonna see that the brothers are in the VIP right now. That's why they see us and they'll tell individual brothers like Kawhi, they'll say, oh, there's something about this brother. I don't know if they're separated